With all the hype surrounding text-to-image AI, you probably want to get started using either Midjourney or Stable Diffusion. Now the question is, what's best for you? Let's start off with the ease of use. Midjourney runs on a Discord server. If you're not familiar with Discord, it doesn't take a lot to learn how to use it. It's basically a chat-based platform where you enter your text into a dialog box and people can respond to your comments, and they have various categories on various topics. Now the way Midjourney runs on it, you simply put in your prompt in the chat box and your image will be generated from there. More on that later. Out of the box, Midjourney gives you great results. Whatever default render settings they have, you could put some simple prompts in there and get some great results. Between both platforms in Midjourney and Stable Diffusion, you're going to have to learn the language of prompting, but each one is slightly different. For Stable Diffusion, there are many ways to run it. If you go the web service route, you can use a service like playgroundai.com, which I cover on my channel. There's a free and a paid membership. Or you can go with Stability AI's official web service, which is dreamstudio.ai. There are many other platforms, but those are some simple examples. The other popular ways to run it locally completely for free is using Automatic 1111 or Invoke AI. However, to run these locally, they recommend 6 GB of VRAM, minimum 4 GB, but 6 gigs and up is more practical. When it comes to prompt engineering, I find Midjourney tends to understand natural language a little bit more than Stable Diffusion, where Stable Diffusion requires a bit more tweaking. As I said previously, Midjourney out of the box yields great results with very little effort and is perfect for beginners. For example, if I were to type in Spider-Man reading a newspaper on the subway in both Stable Diffusion and Midjourney, you're going to get different results. I'm going to show you how that works here. So I'm simply going to type in Spider-Man reading a newspaper on the subway. We're going to let that run. I'm going to put in the same prompt here using playgroundai.com, and we're going to leave the default settings that I have currently. We're going to run this as well, and let's compare the quality of the two. So we see here Stable Diffusion's version with these simple prompts, and we get exactly what we wanted. We see Spider-Man here on the subway. Not bad. It's obviously going to need more words and descriptive text to get better results. And also typically Stable Diffusion can run fairly quickly. Now here we are in Discord, and we're going to take a look at the Midjourney results. And I think it's very clear. You can see the quality out of the box of Midjourney is way ahead. Sure, it's not perfect and it needs some tweaking, but in terms of coherency, there's a lot more details. The final output even looks much better. So it's very good for beginners to at least start with their ideal and theme and to build on their prompt that way. In this example, we're going to do a portrait of a Sumatran tiger. So we're going to go ahead and generate this and look at Stable Diffusion's version. And you see, by default, it does a pretty decent job. It's a bit harsh in terms of the final results, but it's a great start. And here's the Midjourney version. Although it was a simple prompt, we have a very detailed result. Again, would need more prompting to enhance the photo, but it's a great starting point. Here's an image of a Bugatti Chiron that I put through the other day. And if you look at the prompt here, it's not too difficult and it yields some pretty good results. I could probably tweak this a bit more to get more of a realistic photo. And here I have the Midjourney version with the exact same prompt, just a different color. But as you see, the render quality is just on another level. Now I find with Midjourney, this is great because it allows more creative freedom and it allows the user just to focus on that creative side as opposed to, falling down a huge rabbit hole of trying to see what prompt works and what doesn't. I mean, both platforms you have to learn how to prompt properly, but I find Midjourney is a bit more forgiving. In terms of features, Midjourney does have image-to-image capabilities. However, there is currently no way to do in-painting, out-painting, training, or installing any specific models, where Stable Diffusion has that. Stable Diffusion's strength is its versatility. Just a few days ago, I did a demo on using Automatic 1111 to enhance your photography. And in that demo, I changed the background, and the background just had some leaves, and I converted them to cherry blossom trees. Also, being able to utilize in-painting to add things to your image or to correct things that didn't come out that well. And what's a huge plus for Stable Diffusion is the ability to train models. Now again, you can use web services like OpenAI or Astria, and if your computer's powerful enough, you could use Dream Booth. And what it does is, like, if you want to train, say, a model based on you and your face, you simply just have to upload images in various forms and formats, and then it will build a model based on your face. And then you can use that model to create yourself as a superhero or as a ballet dancer or an action movie star. Along with that, there are several models on GitHub, on Hugging Face, where you can get specific models, for example, like anime models. There's another model that I like to use that's based on that Spider-Verse movie. It has that look. Models to create robots and cyborgs. There is a vast majority of them that could be downloaded and used within Automatic 1111, for example, and it will adopt those various styles if that's something that you're looking to do. So again, the versatility of having those resources in Stable Diffusion allows more creative freedom. Of course, the biggest factor for a lot of us is the cost. Midjourney, there are two tiers that you could select from. $10 US a month gives you 200 images per month. The second tier option is $30 a month, which is unlimited if you use the relaxed mode. Whereas Stable Diffusion, if you can run it locally, it's completely free. And even if you do a service like Playground AI, OpenAI, or Dream Studio, the costs are more reasonable. Like Playground AI is $15 a month for their Pro plan. I believe Dream Studio is a pay-as-you-go, like $10 or $15 a month. For a set amount of images, I believe it's $1,000 a month. Overall, I look at Midjourney like the Apple of image generation. It requires no maintenance like Stable Diffusion does, and out of the box it just works great, therefore allowing you as the user to focus more on the creative side because its learning curve isn't as steep as Stable Diffusion. Whereas Stable Diffusion can be absolutely free, or even if you decide to use the web services, the costs are very reasonable. The fact that it's so versatile and you can use different models, you can train, the features of in-painting and out-painting are so valuable and so powerful. But it does require regular maintenance when there's updates or new models out there. So if you're not that tech savvy, it can be a little confusing at first. I look at Stable Diffusion like building a PC. You can customize it to your style and to your likeness however you want. But if you have to choose one or the other, I think I've given you enough of the main points to help you make that decision. So I'd love to hear what you're currently using, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, both. Or if you're on the fence, what are some questions that you have that will kind of push you to make that decision? Now, in case you're just starting off, make sure to check out these videos here on basic prompting in Stable Diffusion, which also can work for Midjourney. But if you're a Midjourney user and you want to learn some basic prompting, make sure to check out this video. If it's not there yet, that just means I'm editing it, so stay tuned for that. As always, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help my channel grow. Until the next video, my friends, I'll see you when I see you.